All right, the digestive system, right? So first we're going to think about what are the components of the digestive system. So the best way to do it is follow where the digestion occurs. So where is the first place? So it begins in the oral cavity. So the first primary structure is the oral cavity. Okay, in the oral cavity, majority of digestion begins whether it's mastication, whether it's secretion of salivary fluids that aids in the process of digestion. Next, after the oral cavity, another next structure we have is the pharynx. The pharynx is a structure that, if you remember, it is the same, it is in tangent with the respiratory system. So the pharynx comes in, separates out into the respiratory system, going into the trachea, eventually the bronchus. But also, it is also connected to the digestive system. So the pharynx here separates the respiratory system and the digestive system. After the separation takes place, the pharynx now is connected to the esophagus. Okay? So the esophagus now is carrying all the food, whatever the remaining food is, after being digested in the oral cavity as bolus. So this is bolus. All right, down into the stomach. Stomach, majority of the time, is where we have storage. Okay, there is very little absorption. Majority of absorption that takes place in the stomach is any kind of alcohols or water, right? So if you want to go out to a party and you notice that you have an empty stomach, you take a couple shots and you notice after 2 shots in, you're completely wasted, right? That's because stomach mainly is absorbed, main function is to absorb the alcohols, right? After the stomach, the food migrates. Now it's called chyme. Right? So now after releasing from all the gastric juices, it is called chyme. And then you enter the small intestine. So majority of the small intestine is where further digestion and then complete absorption takes place. Right? Majority of absorption takes place in the small intestine. There's 3 sections. You have the duodenum, the jejunum, and then the ileum. And then finally at the end, you have the large intestine. Large intestine's main function is the compaction of whatever material is left over. And so also another main function is absorption of water, generation of different vitamins, because there's a whole microbiome of flora, right, bacteria that is composed in the large intestine. And then finally, out the rectum, and then excreted via the anus, right? So these are the main components of the digestive system right here. We also have other structures that are involved in the digestive system. These are called the accessory structures. Accessory structures, right? So for example, your salivary glands. Salivary glands secreting all the saliva, the specific digestive enzymes. You have what else? You have your teeth, dental caries. What else? Let's see. Don't get any cavities, right? What else do we have? You have the pancreas. So the pancreas is involved with regulation of sugar, right? So it secretes insulin, glucagon, to maintain a homeostatic balance of our blood sugar levels. You also have the liver. So the liver's main function is in the digestive system is for the production of bile. Bile is this chemical where it's used to emulsify fats. By emulsify, it means physically separate rather than chemically separate, right? Chemically separation takes place with the lipases, and the physical separation takes place with the emulsification process, which is called bile. So liver secretes bile, and because, due to the presence of, variety of diets and, you're eating fats throughout the time, right, there needs to be some kind of storage. So you have this organ called the gallbladder, where it is used for the storage of bile. So these are just the very general components of the digestive system. You have the main structures, and then you have the accessory structures, right? So there's multiple names for the digestive system. They call it the digestive system, the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract, alimentary canal. These are all considered the part of the digestive system.